Alright, so earlier today, or at least very recently, a young little girl died of, I believe, Alper's disease, something along that. I'm probably mispronouncing it, but it's something along those lines. Pretty much, from what I read, it shuts down the brain more or less, seizures and mental retardation, stuff like that. Anyways, very young girl. I don't think she knew how to walk or anything like that yet. Like I said, just a baby. I could be wrong on this. I found this out through a person I know who hung out with the girl a lot, the little girl, and she's very upset about it. Although I can't say that I'm upset about the death because I did not know the person. I do not have a connection with the person who died. Just like I didn't care about Michael Jackson's death. I never met the dude. I don't care. But I do feel sorry for the person I know who is feeling a lot of pain right now. And that angers me a little bit. It angers me because a lot of people who are saying rest in peace to the individual who died are religious. And it angers me because I've been reading a couple things like pray for the girl or she's in a better place, so on and so forth. And this really angers me because I want to get into a discussion about writing things off. Now, this is just something that does not make sense to me at all whatsoever, and I'll spell it out for you the best I can. Pretty much, religious people write off a lot of things in the name of God, and it really pisses me off. We can get into a couple of them, and a lot of people don't recognize these things because it doesn't apply to them or they don't think so. They don't put it in that context. Instead, they try to ship it off on others, and they're like, well, you have that problem. It's not my problem, and it's not God's problem. That's your problem. Well, it's not true, because if you sit and think for just a second, I'm pretty sure you can think of somebody who, by general definition, prematurely has died. Either it was a baby, a child, a teenager, a young adult, or something along those lines who have died. And regardless of what that death is, it's to be considered premature because it's not an elderly individual. So let's get into a couple of things. Very young child death or premature death. Why doesn't God stop these things? Why does He allow them to happen? This makes no sense. It's all in His control, right? He knows what's going to happen, past, present, future. He controls everything. Free will, He made everything. Why is this in His divine plan? Secondly, incurable diseases. Why are we allowed to get diseases that allow us to die? That can't be cured. I don't understand that. If there are going to be diseases that, again, He created, because He created everything, then why don't we have a cure for it? At least something. Apparently that's not happening. Natural disasters. Natural disasters are responsible for hundreds or thousands of deaths on one occasion. One tornado, one hurricane, one tsunami. All that shit can just wipe out people, just send houses across the street or send your car across the city and leave you homeless and hungry and without water. I mean, these are real necessities, real basic essentials that you no longer had because God allowed this to happen to you. What else is there? Abusers of all sorts. I mean, sexually or vocally or psychologically or physically, either to children or domestic violence. So we've already written off incurable diseases, premature death, natural disasters, abusers. Why do you write these things off? I really don't understand. How or why? So let's get into a little bit of what I have read about the Bible, because I have read a little bit of the Bible. I've tried to read all of it, but I can't read books to save my life. So anyways, in the beginning, it claims that we were all good, we were all perfect. Well, if we were perfect, then why did we eat the fruit off of the tree? And afterwards, and after we lied about it, because, again, if we were perfect, we wouldn't have lied, He curses everything. He says you'll be hungry. He says when you have a baby, you'll be in pain. Well, if we weren't hungry before, then why we eat the fucking fruit off the tree, genius? Do y'all even think about this stuff, or do you just kind of read it and try to just skip over it, or do you just not comprehend the text that you're reading? I don't understand. So anyways, He curses everything. We did not do this, okay? He, and it says this, came down here and cursed everything. The land, the man, beast and bird, and the sea creatures, or whatever the fuck they call it. He cursed everything. So after he curses everything, then he decides to destroy everything with a flood. Well, why do you need a flood? Can't you just snap your fingers and kill everything except for those two animals and that guy and his stupid boat? And why does it need to rain for 40 days and 40 nights? Can't you just snap your fingers and it's flooded? Again, shit that doesn't make sense. Anyways, so he kills everything, all the humans, everything. So this is the first, I guess, slaughter by God that I've read. So then we restart everything, and then still to this day, and then Jesus comes down, then he dies on the cross for our sins. Now, if he dies for our sins, then that means that sins no longer exist because they were taken when Jesus gave his life for sin. So, by technical definition, there's no such thing as sin anymore. We just are, okay? And if there is sin, then why are you controlling your lives? And secondly, why are people still being punished? If Jesus gave his life for sin, for bad things, then why are we still dying? I don't understand. I don't understand at all. Would somebody please, I promise you, I am telling the truth, and I promise you that I will read every single comment to this video. I will. And the only thing I want to know is how and why you purposely choose to write all these things off. And if you didn't know before, you now know because you've now spent the last 6.5 minutes watching this video. Thank you for your goddamn time, and please give me some logical fucking answers.